campaign reaches its climax. Well, the news tonight that Lazio have lost at Lecce, Stuart, is something of a shock. The title looking ever more in Juve's grasp.
Yes, you could say it's a slight shock, but the way Lazio have played over the last couple of weeks, they looked a very tired side. It has been a problem for them when they came back and they won a couple of games. They had to come from behind. They had a lot of players put in a lot of effort in, and you could just see that energy dwindling away in that last game against Milan. And I don't think it was that much of a surprise that they didn't perform tonight. But Juventus, although they haven't played at their very best, have continued to win games. And that's been a feature of their performances over the last few years. Even when they don't play well, they still know how to win.
Saturday, a day for new records, benchmarks. There was the new appearance mark for Gigi Buffon. The first direct free kick for Juve scored. Castillejo, I understand, is a couple of weeks away after his hamstring problem. Even the somewhat surprising penalty won by Torino couldn't blemish the biggest derby win for Juve in 3 years. And the incredible turn of events, Lazio humbled at home by Milan, into leading 10-man Bologna with a penalty awarded to them and still managing to lose. 35 years ago, Stefano Pioli was a Juventus player. 35 years on, Maurizio Sarri on course for his first domestic title. And there's a man with an understandable smile, Gigi Buffon. But what sort of job do you think that Pioli and Sarri are doing between them, Stu?
Well, I think Sarri hasn't quite got the fluency that he would like from his Juventus side, but as we said a little while ago, they keep winning games and he's going to win the title probably, but he also needs to do well in Europe. There's a big game against Lyon coming up. They need to win that.
Just on the video screen there, Ciao Ennio Morricone's music from the film Once Upon a Time in America playing at the moment, Deborah's theme, which you may even have heard recorded by Andrea Bocelli and Ariana Grande as E più ti penso. Wonderful melodies. Someone who's given the world so much through his music. David Foster produced that Andrea Bocelli and Ariana Grande version. What a great producer he is. Love to work with him, goodness. But spectacular music and an Oscar for Ennio Morricone. He got an honorary Oscar as well, incidentally. But as for the football tonight, Marco Guida is our referee. And today, Gigi Buffon, an onlooker. Feels slightly weird in the stadium at the moment, but something we're increasingly getting used to, Stuart.
It certainly is. I don't think it's ruined the football at all. Some of the football has been played at a really good tempo. We've seen some good games as well. We've seen some surprise results. We've seen some good individual performances. I'm sure we're going to see an excellent game again today. Going back to your question, what sort of job has Stefano Pioli done? I think he's done a decent job. When he took over, Milan weren't in a particularly good shape. They didn't have a great squad. Paolo Maldini, who has his position higher up in the order at Milan, didn't have the top quality players, and he's done a good job with the players at his disposal. And he's done well to get Ibrahimovic back into the team.
Yes, it feels rather strange with stories in Italy saying that Ralph Rangnick, the deal has already been done. I did speak to the club earlier on today. Nothing official from them at this stage. As you'd expect, they will wait until the end of this season before they comment further. But to Stefano Pioli, certainly the way that the players are responding for him right now, it's tremendous. And out come Juventus here with Cristiano Ronaldo seemingly setting new records on a daily basis. And the smiling Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Back from injury, managed to last for half a game the other day. 2 of football's superstars in action this evening. With an infamous role in the corresponding fixture last season. Our officials, and then Alessio Romagnoli at the head of the Milan line. Team that includes the young Belgian SELAMAT is there, the 21-year-old on the right side. And warm applause for Ennio Morricone from those who are here. So Marco Guida with VAR today, Piero Giacomelli. Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored on his return against Lazio and now faces the club for whom he scored 23 times in the league, well over a decade ago. Rebic isn't far off being a goal a game in 2020. He and Paquetá are the two changes. Salamanca's continuing on the right with Castillejo out with a hamstring injury. For Juve, Rugani and Higuain come into the 11 today. De Ligt and Dybala suspended. Szczesny's back in goal. Bonucci and Higuain, each Milan players in recent years. Higuain playing his 100th Serie A match for the old lady. Ronaldo, the first Juve player to score 25 goals in a league season since 1961. Stefano Pioli, a player with Juventus some 35 years or so ago. And Maurizio Sarri closing in on his first domestic trophy. Milan are back challenging for the European places, and they are itching to have a say in this year's title race, having flattened Lazio at the weekend. Now turning their attentions to the very best in the land. The winning post certainly coming into view for Juventus after their fantastic derby win against Torino. Champagne maybe in the chiller. But, a chance tonight to go 10 points clear with just 7 games to play, if they can overcome this ever-improving Milan team.
Just looking at the way Milan have set up, Paquetá's going to play out on this left-hand side and Rebic is going to play in behind Ibrahimovic. And when Juve have the ball, he's going to try and stop Pjanic getting on and dictating the play. That's the role for Rebic.
Apart from the changing goal, Higuain playing up front and Rugani at centre-back for Juve. Bonucci. Danilo's still out on that left side of the Juve backline. Chiellini and Alexandra back on the bench tonight.
Start for Higuain. He's placing that pass when it came into him. He's got to lead the line, he's got to be the focal point. Bernardeschi and Ronaldo running off of him.
Well, when you think to the Coppa Italia meetings, and indeed the league meeting back in Turin in November, very little between these clubs on any of the occasions. With Milan growing in confidence, the likes of Ibrahimovic and Rebic and Paquetá all in this very attack-minded team, I think this could be quite a contest for Juve, Stuart.
I'd like to see Rebic and Paquetá get on the ball and make things happen. Rebic to make those runs in behind Ibrahimovic. Get crosses into the box as well for Ibrahimovic, maybe up against Rugani. That will be the threat to Juventus.
Salamanca's playing on the right side for them. Here's Ibrahimovic. Kessie and Benacer, the two protectors, looking to switch it wide for Theo Hernandez. You mentioned about his attacking play. Again, that seems to be his natural instinct.
Absolutely, he loves to get forward. You saw those runs against Lazio. Great energy, great pace. Got a good delivery with his left foot. I think his defensive qualities can be questioned at times. Theo Hernandez. Kessie getting tight to Bentancur.
Well, Higuain, mentioned so prominent in the fixture last season when he was a Milan player. He scored 6 Serie A goals for Milan in the early part of the 18-19 season, but in the meeting between these two, you may recall that after Mario Mandzukic scored an early goal, he missed his penalty, and then after Ronaldo scored the second, he lost his rag completely.
It was Conti getting forward, he made the interception, passed Ronaldo quite easily.
All Juventus defensive eyes on Ibrahimovic. That's a comfortable catch for Wojciech Szczesny. Restored to the lineup after Gigi Buffon had his moment in the spotlight, quite rightly breaking Paolo Maldini's record that he held jointly and recording his 648th appearance in Serie A.
Not a good pass from Rabiot. Not sure that was handball either. It came off the chest of Bernardeschi.
Chiellini making the point also. If you think back over the 25 years of Gigi Buffon's career, and his career started with a match against Milan, kept a clean sheet when he was at Parma, and Emilio Scala.
Already we've seen Ibrahimovic drop deep. This time he pulls out to the left-hand side. They're trying to hold a high line on that occasion, just catching him offside. That's what he does. He drifts around the front line and allows other players to make runs beyond him.
Well, no Paulo Dybala to open the scoring for Juve this time around. But, some wonderful goals he's been contributing. Douglas Costa too, as well as the headline maker Cristiano Ronaldo. I have to say it was a fairly tidy own goal too by Torino centre-back Gigi. Bizarrely, if he'd have scored at the right end, it would have been Gigi past Gigi. But, I think Matthijs de Ligt rightly would have felt hard done by with the penalty decision against him, and perhaps more so the yellow card that means that he's suspended tonight.
He just felt as though he was finding his feet in that Juve back four. De Ligt more comfortable, was coming out with the ball, a bit of quality, he was defending with greater urgency, winning his balls in the air. He was a threat up the other end as well. It's a shame for him that he is suspended now.
Forward here to Ibrahimovic. What a tremendous result it was for Milan to win at the Olimpico and win comprehensively. Stefano Pioli, who's talked about it being more and more his team. Shaped in his image. Bernardeschi spinning away from Rebic. And here's Ronaldo. Well, Romagnoli very tight to Ronaldo, who's complaining. Milan with other ideas in mind here, beyond Rebic. Here's Paquetá. And now Salamakers, young Belgian.
It's good movement. First of all from Ibrahimovic. Here's the final shot. Salamakers doesn't connect with it properly. Actually kicks the ground. That's why it's bobbling towards Szczesny.
Well, Salamakers, the Belgian 21 now. Over a couple of years, he made 70 appearances for Anderlecht. Belgian under 21 international. That's a trip by Kessie on Bernardeschi,
who's playing much better now. Bernardeschi receives the ball, gets away from Kessie. He wants to get tight, wants to get a tackle in. That's how he plays in that midfield area. It's a rash one from him.
Well, no option with Dybala here. Cristiano Ronaldo leaving this to others. Marilyn Pjanic, who will shortly be leaving Juve. He's over this along with Bernardeschi, who swings it in towards goal, and it's a wicked one, which Bonucci nearly finished off.
Well, it was a different sort of defensive line that Milan were holding. They were defending really deeply. But Bonucci still had the opportunity. He made the run. Donnarumma wasn't going to get there. It's whipped in with great pace. He actually should score once he gets there. Maybe Donnarumma did enough, just put him off. That's a big chance for Bonucci.
If there was contact, it was faint. But a wonderful ball whipped in by Bernardeschi, who, with Ronaldo and Dybala particularly, grabbing everybody's imagination with the quality of their goals. Bernardeschi's almost been overlooked in some quarters.
And he's been fighting for that place up against Costa. He's been the better player in recent weeks. He also tried to make forward runs, running behind the opposition. Caught offside on a number of occasions, which he won't be happy about, but at least he's threatening the back of the opposition.
Bernardeschi here. Quadrado outside it. Higuain. Offensive Maurizio Sarri. The prize in sight at last for Juve. And about a week ago, Stuart, I think we were all thinking that it was going to be one heck of a good title race, but then Lazio and Inter have both lost ground.
Yeah, a couple of poor performances by a tired Lazio side. Trying to use the same sort of players week in, week out, and they had the suspension of Immobile and Caicedo in the same game against Milan, and that cost them dearly. I would say Inter have been the big disappointment. They play some wonderful football at times. I saw them recently against Brescia where they won 6-0 and their football was magnificent. But they still have problems defensively against some of the weaker sides. Something that Antonio Conte will have to look at before the start of next season.
Well, here's Quadrado for Juve. Time for the 9th title in a row. Milan, the last club before them to be champions of Italy. Here's Rabiot. Got a lot ahead of Les Matuidi today. Nice turn by Bernardeschi. Looking around to see if the referee would give that as a foul against Kessie. And again, it's Juve setting the early tempo. Bernardeschi. That took a A little touch on the way through, I think, from Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, I think Conte got half a block in here. You must know that Ronaldo wants to come in on his right foot. Just gets the block with his left foot. Just about enough. That was a danger moment for Milan. And that deflection takes it away from goal.
Just tell by the spin on the ball, just changed very slightly after the contact from Conte.
Menucci will once again be the main target for this set play.
Easy enough for Milan to get away, at least for the time being. Here's Pjanic. Rabiot. Oh, for a moment, fraction of a second for Rabiot. The goal appeared in front of him. Perfect opportunity.
Well, he did well just to evade a couple of challenges here. And got underneath the shot. He's another player that's improved his performances since we've resumed the football. He was told he was going to be on his way earlier on in the season, but he's made sure that place is his own on the left side of the midfield three.
We've seen some absolutely blockbuster goals from Juve in the last couple of matches, but having said that, we haven't always impressed with a full 90 minutes and the quality of their play. Szczesny there dicing with danger a little bit with Rebic lurking. More emphatically away this time. And here Cristiano Ronaldo down, hence the stoppage. We've got a couple of young players on the bench tonight. Giacomo Brioni is one of them. He's got the number 44 shirt, but there you see Ronaldo.
This is where Rebic nearly could he have slid in there just to try and put more pressure on Szczesny. Bentancur with a little nutmeg.
Through the legs of Benacer. Bernardeschi in behind Theo Hernandez, but the assistant referee frantically waving his flag.
Well, this time he does handle the ball. Just there, he chests it onto his left arm, which puts it into his path. That's why the referee gave the handball. I don't think he was right the first time, but that one was correct.
I know we were talking about the Delict penalty. Of course, Milan profited from one given against Radu. So many penalties, the most in Serie A history, I think I'm right in saying, and certainly the most number of penalties across Europe. Just wonder whether they're all as clear-cut as we'd like to think with the VAR. I was a little bit surprised that the referee didn't overturn it with Delicts at the weekend. You were watching the Radu one, weren't you, Stuart?
Yes, I don't think that was a penalty. There's not much he could do. He had his arms down by his side, but of all the leagues throughout Europe, Serie A seems more, wants to give the handballs more than any other league. I think they see handballs slightly differently to maybe the Premier League and Bundesliga. Almost as if it hits the player on the arm, that's going to be a penalty. That's not the actual law, but...
No, it's not. Of course, you've got to bear in mind as well that these days it does vary depending whether you're one of the attackers or one of the defenders. Laura's become a little bit more complicated. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is guarded there by Regani. Regani, who you may recall was someone who tested positive for COVID-19. This is his first appearance, and perhaps a message of hope to anyone who has sadly got that virus.
It's good news that he has recovered well. Regani hasn't really fulfilled his potential at Juventus. He was a good young player that everybody thought would take over from one of the big three, Chiellini, Bonucci.
Of course, they're missing Mary Demiral as well at the moment, Juve. That's a dangerous ball in, and Regani got to good height and distance with his header. Salamakers again. Pakita flags up.
Yeah, when Barzali was coming to the end of his career, you thought that would be the place that Regani would come into, but it hasn't quite worked out for him.
Barzali has actually stepped away from the club now, and Chiellini, along with Buffon, have extended their deals for another year. 36 years at the club between them, those two. Bonucci, who did have a season here. Cuadrado, trying to skip around Pakita. Took his goal so well the other day.
It's going to be a good battle between him and Pakita. Pakita's tucking infield at times. Allow Teo Hernandez to break forward down the left-hand side, but when the ball is switched, he's got to get out quickly. He's beaten easily there. Cuadrado.
Maybe question marks about Lianco's defending against Cuadrado in the derby the other day. 20th minute at San Siro. Miralem Pjanic. And positively and powerfully headed away.
There's another example of how Milan are trying to defend much deeper, and I agree with it. I don't quite understand why defenders want to be running back towards their own goal, trying to hold too high a line. They're going almost back between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, and they're going to be attacking the ball.
And doesn't have the referee's opinion on that one. When you think Cristiano Ronaldo, 25 league goals in Serie A this season, something he's achieved with Manchester United in the Premier League, and indeed in La Liga many times over with Real Madrid.
Yeah, this looked to be a very good tackle, and it was by Bentancur. Got the appreciation of the very few people that are in the stands, the club staff.
Yeah, you wonder when Pjanic leaves, Arthur comes in, Bentancur, quite how that midfield is shaping up for next season.
I've tried Bentancur as the holding midfield player, but he's got a bit more about him than just being the holding midfield player. I would say the same about Arthur, who's coming from Barcelona.
Stefano Pioli looking for his first win as a manager against Juve at what is the 14th attempt. He's had 3 draws and 11 defeats so far. Will always have a special place in his heart, having made his Serie A debut as a centre-back for Juve back in the mid-80s. And Romagnoli, the centre-back pairing preferred here by Stefano Pioli. Teo Hernandez with those galloping runs down the left flank. And an ambitious first-time ball from the right this time with the Salamakers over there.
Yeah, Ibrahimovic wasn't too pleased with that. He wanted him to get hold of it, and then he was going to make his run, Ibrahimovic.
Slipped by Pjanic. Ibrahimovic is in. And again, not the power to trouble Wojciech Szczesny. Ronaldo switching away from Conti, whose attentions were too close.
Yeah, I think he made the referee's mind up for him there, Ronaldo. He's trying to ref the game at times.
Cuadrado behind Ronaldo. He's been a set. Conti and Salamakas controlling that right flank for Milan today. Akan Çalhanoğlu, by the way, is available. He's on the bench, so too Bonaventura. They too have put a young striker on the bench in Lorenzo Colombo today. Here's Ronaldo and Bernardeschi. He wants the return here, but Kjaer had tracked Ronaldo every step.
Yeah, he did well. He did try and hold a high line and play offside. He went with the run of Ronaldo. It was always going to be difficult for Bernardeschi to find him with that pass. Good defending from Kjaer.
Mention about the meetings in the Coppa Italia. Quite eventful they were. 1-1 at San Siro in February. Rebic scoring, Theo Hernandez sent off, then Cristiano Ronaldo getting the penalty in added time. And then after the enforced break, it was goalless at Juve. Ronaldo, his penalty that time, coming back off the post just before Rebic was sent off for a high foot. Paquetá. Rebic. Kessie. Rebic again. The play continues here with Theo Hernandez and Ibrahimovic. Really lovely flowing play from Milan, who kept going.
Yeah, lovely reverse pass here. Goes out to Theo Hernandez. He picks out Ibrahimovic again. Doesn't quite catch it sweetly. Pjanic was the closest player to him. It's a chance for Ibrahimovic.
Possible foul in the build-up on Rebic, but good advantage if there was one, played by the referee. Bernardeschi, look at the run made by Cuadrado on the outside here. Never gets the chance to play him in. Seven wins in a row for Juve now. But Milan, for their part, have returned after the break in the league with 3 wins and a draw. Salamakas looking for Ibrahimovic, but it was Rabiot mopping up.
He's not seeing eye to eye with Salamakas at the moment. Ibrahimovic, another glare towards him. He's dropping much deeper, Ibrahimovic, and allowing Rebic to play through the middle. He wants to be the playmaker, the Swede.
Currently 7th in the league, and of course that would be enough to qualify for European football, as long as Napoli finish in the top 6, having won the Coppa Italia against Juve. Rabiot. Here's Cuadrado. Cutting inside Paquetá. Bentancur. Rugani. Danilo won't reach that.
He's certainly got the ability to go past people, step over, goes past Paquetá. Not the best defender, it has to be said.
Well, it's interesting with Cuadrado as we have a cooling break here. Cuadrado, someone who can play as far forward or as far back on that right flank as you like, really, for Juve. He's very versatile. We've seen him play much further forward, almost in the Bernardeschi role, if you like, in the front three. Feels a little strange having a cooling break at this time of night.
Here's that chance, a great shot from Ibrahimovic, just kick the ground first. It's probably the lesser of the 2 chances he's had so far.
That's where Rabiot did well to, as you said, Stuart, evade Salamakas' challenge and get his shot away.
I don't think he knew that Salamakers was coming. This was a moment where, had he slid in Rebic, he may have just blocked that ball. Ibrahimovic fouling Rugani rather than the other way round.
Well, just gone 10:15 at night, local time. Certainly understand the cooling break when you get the late afternoon kickoffs. But with the games coming so thick and fast, players' health and fitness is paramount and the understandable priority. Luigi Donnarumma in goal as always. His brother, it's his 30th birthday today. Here's Romagnoli, Milan's captain, to Theo Hernandez. Good hustling there by Bentancur on Kessie. Conti sliding it forward for Salamakers. Ibrahimovic. Oh, has had 11 clean sheets so far this season. But Milan at the other end have managed to start scoring the goals on a very regular basis. First time in around about 3 years they've scored in 12 in a row. Ibrahimovic hasn't always been available. Ante Rebic has really stepped up to the plate. He's got to, well, nearly a goal a game. He's on 9 in the last 11. And he stepped up when they really needed him. Bernardeschi here to Higuain. Was the free kick from Romagnoli.
Well, Milan spent that big money on Piontek, didn't they? It didn't quite work out. He was going to be the big hope for them. He started well, but drifted away from it, really.
Well, the transfer activity here, perhaps as much as anywhere, is going to be absolutely fascinating. It will all stem from whoever is in charge, of course. Bentancur being pursued and taken out by Paquetá.
There's more evidence of his lack of defensive quality, Paquetá. He's ended up in the left-back position. Theo Hernandez had pressed the ball higher up the field. One of the reasons he doesn't get in the side every week. He's got great quality on the ball, but just lacks that ability to defend. He's always going to be second best to Bentancur there.
Came here with huge expectations, Paquetá. He joined from Flamengo 18 months or so ago. Well, Higuain hoping to get a bit of service here. He's had precious little to work with so far in the opening half an hour. Bernardeschi and Pjanic. Again, the two orchestrators of this Juventus free kick.
Well, they're claiming a high boot here, but it was Ronaldo that went quite low with his header. And they're taking a whack on the side of the head, but it's him that's ducking down. Ibrahimovic goes with his stud showing, but I don't think the referee, or the VAR, will get the referee to change his mind here.
Bonucci's volley. A scrape on the side of Ronaldo's forehead. And to be fair, he himself is not protesting. There might be a bit of an argument about that one. That one was a little bit late from Danilo.
He just catches the foot there, doesn't he? Benacer. Hasn't really been involved in the game, Benacer, in that midfield area. Certainly not on the ball. There's a big challenge from him against Rabiot.
Yeah, a little bit of giving something back, I think. Benacer and Kessie have become established as the main two, patrolling in front of Milan's back four. Pjanic. And Rabiot back for Danilo. Passing hasn't been as tight and authoritative as we've become used to. Each of these clubs with 4 home, 3 away after this. Juve's next 2 home games, Atalanta and Lazio.
Well, Rebic had already made the forward run, and then it was played into Ibrahimovic, who just bent it round the corner, but Rebic was standing in offside position. That's why he didn't chase it.
Bentancur. Rugani. Cuadrado. Moving it more quickly this time. Ronaldo. You see, recovering his footing and only giving it to Pjanic. Rabiot. Minutes to half-time. Juve with the advancing Bonucci header, their best chance. Milan have come closer, I'd say, with the potential chances for Ibrahimovic and the possible block from Rebic and Szczesny. No, Bonucci with any sort of real contact would have done the deed.
It looks like Benacer has got a yellow card for that challenge on Pjanic. Pjanic just here turns on the ball. Benacer thinks he can win it. And he just goes down the side of the shin of Pjanic. He's going for the ball, but was just beaten by that little touch from the midfield man.
So Benacer cautioned here, trying Paquetá. Romagnoli's the one who's got to be careful. He's the one who's 1 yellow card away from a ban. For Juve, having lost De Ligt and Dybala today. Cuadrado and Bentancur on the disciplinary tightrope. Cuadrado with Bernardeschi outside, and he takes Paquetá out quite easily. Pjanic skipping it wide. Ronaldo with quick feet finding Pjanic. Better from Juve all of a sudden. Higuain protecting. Danilo squeezing it wide for Cuadrado. Milan at this point happy to keep their defensive shape and make Juve break them down. Bernardeschi combining with Higuain. Here comes Rabiot now. And Danilo lining one up. That's a tremendous block. Kier throwing himself in, I think.
And that's the best football we've seen from Juventus in this first half. Good combination play in and around the box. Lovely little over. Flick from Ronaldo into the space. That's when they wanted the ball crossed. The likes of Higuain and Ronaldo. Instead it went back to Danilo. Kier, the player, gets his head on it. just crept in at that far post.
Ronaldo danced near post. Ronaldo's flick took another touch before hitting the top of Donnarumma's goal.
He's done well to get away from Teo Hernandez. Comes off Ibrahimovic. Don't know too much about it. Donnarumma was beaten at it, just crept in that far corner.
A very early breakthrough for Juve in the derby the other day, but they're having to work very hard for an opening here. The whistle goes.
The referee saw some blocking going on, or holding by Juventus. Not quite sure what Ronaldo did wrong. Because I think he was knocked off the ball by Kier there. Actually, Ronaldo was trying to run round the back. I think it was a complete accident.
Sometimes there's a danger with VAR. We expect every decision to be perfect, and it's an imperfect game. Certainly it's improved a number of decisions that the officials get right, that's for sure, and that's very welcome. Salamaca's here to Conti. Rebic with a layoff. It's loose and only to Higuain. Quadrado finding Pjanic. Here's Rabiot. Juve committing more and more forward here. Ronaldo caught by Salamaca's.
Tries to all step over and go down the outside, but he left it a little bit too late. That's why Salamaca's was right on top of him. It's a foul, but it certainly shouldn't be a yellow card.
terms of either the number of passes or the accuracy of their play. The 45th minute of a first half where chances have been at a premium. Rather reflecting the two meetings in the Coppa Italia. Rebic. Ibrahimovic very cleverly using his body and immediately turning round to the referee thinking he was fouled. I have to say, maybe agreed that there was a possible foul there, but the referee well placed.
Well, I think if the referee was going to give a foul, he was going to give it against Ibrahimovic, who went beyond the ball and crashed into the Juventus player, tried to claim he was injured.
Chase on here, Szczesny, safe catch. 2 added minutes at the end of this first half.
It's quite been the game we were hoping for. Been enough forward movement from Juventus, which has been the case in many games in terms of a centre forward who's willing to run in behind. A lot of it's in front of Milan.
Here's Kessie, as Milan look for a goal to spark them just approaching the interval. Paquetá. Nothing doing there. Bernardeschi, Rabiot, bypassing Salamanca's, the little flick through for Danilo, who is prepared to run beyond the strikers. Danilo. Lovely touch, Bernardeschi, Higuain. Well, a snapshot on the turn, which at least extends Donnarumma.
Well, great little touch again, and good understanding by Higuain and Bernardeschi. Had some good little moments with 1-2s and little overs. He's played around the corner to Higuain, he's got a good turn in.
Yeah, his effort actually coming off Theo Hernandez, I think, looking at that angle, to make it all the more difficult for Donnarumma. Ibrahimovic in behind, and Ibrahimovic scores!
Flag
well, the
has gone
flag
up.
is up. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it, Stuart, where we wait for the assistant referee. We were talking about this earlier.
Well, I think Bonucci knew that he was playing Ibrahimovic offside. There you see he puts his arm up, then he has a little chase back just in case. It's a good finish, you have to say, from Ibrahimovic. He was always going to be flagged offside.
Well, right on half-time, Gonzalo Higuain for Juve, and then Zlatan Ibrahimovic for Milan, almost providing the breakthrough against each of their former clubs. But, up to that point, chances had been rather few and far between. Ibrahimovic powerful in the air as always. Ronaldo industrious without ever yet having the chance to have
an eternity. I feel like I am in a daydream. Every moment that I spend with you, with you.
Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly? We can be alone in a castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to our destiny. Won't you take me
sure that he can play some part in this. Bernardeschi without Dybala up front, Higuain and Ronaldo. It's a different trident for Juventus in attack today. Bonaventura, so just getting some words of instruction. Maybe his arrival is also imminent. But Cristiano Ronaldo, Zlatan Ibrahimovic in this star-studded stadium. Donnarumma with that late save, with Higuain's effort just flicking off Theo Hernandez. Gazidis watching on. And there's Hakan making his way on. He's coming on for Pakita. Pakita, one of those cautioned already. Benacer coming on. Now they've got the ball back. So underway in the second half between Milan and Juve, still looking for the first goal of the match. But Milan having made a change for this second period with Hakan straight into the action in place of Pakita. Right in his natural position, wide left. Here's Benacer. Ibrahimovic, Salamakers in the penalty area here. Here's Benacer to Salamakers. Benacer again. Good support running from Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He's become an ever-increasingly important player for Milan.
Yeah, no surprise he came on for Pakita. Playing in the same position. He will come in from that left-hand side onto his right foot, try and get shots away, get crosses into the box, and it will allow Theo Hernandez the space to run down the outside of him.
Rabiot darting forward here with pace and purpose. Higuain just ahead of him, Ronaldo to the left, Rabiot, a fine run and a wonderful goal. Well, a tremendous way to open your account in Juve colours. What a fabulous effort from Adrien Rabiot.
Now watch the movement from Higuain as well. Rabiot picked up the ball first, and he does well to go past his man out on that right-hand side. Just here, actually a little nutmeg on Theo Hernandez. Higuain waits and waits, then he makes a little darting run, he takes Kier away with him, and that means that Romagnoli can't get the block in, and there was space for Rabiot. Good play from him there. Good run from Higuain. Romagnoli gets beat a little bit too easily, but what a strike it is right at the end of it. Knew exactly where he was trying to place. He didn't try and hit it too hard. He just wrapped his foot round it, and absolutely no chance for Donnarumma.
Rabiot, who joined from Paris Saint-Germain a year ago, a boisterous celebration, understandably. A match that needed a goal, and what a fine effort it was. Rampaging run by the Frenchman, and well, a top quality shot at the end of it to beat Donnarumma.
He certainly had his critics at Juventus since he arrived. Two midfield players came out, and Ramsey and Rabiot. He hasn't had that many starts, but Rabiot starting to become a regular fixture now.
Sent off earlier in the season against Genoa. At a point when he was being used more as a substitute than a starter. You see there on Pjanic.
This is where they claimed the ball was out, the Milan players. Don't think it was.
Had a lot of work to do from here, and he took it on with a splendid solo goal. As you say, Stuart, that run of Higuain just confused the defenders enough to open up the space for him. A bit too bullish there, mind you, Bernardeschi. Romagnoli.
Does he win the ball here? I think he does. Romagnoli's lucky. It's a good situation for Juventus as well. They've started the second half with a bit more energy.
Regani with the block. It's interesting with Aaron Ramsey as well being kept in reserve. Talk about Rabiot getting his chance, a sustained spell as a starter in the Juve first team. Something not really afforded to Aaron Ramsey so far. And Çalhanoğlu spinning away from Miralem Pjanic. Bentancur escaping the clutches of both Kessie and Benacer. Ramsey's had 9 starts in all since his transfer a year ago. In the league, that is. Kessie. And just come short. So Cuadrado painfully putting his foot in. Space on this near side for Conte, but electing to go left to Theo Hernandez. Akan Çalhanoğlu up against Regani. Kept track of his man. And Juve feed it forward. Higuain quick with the release. Possible foul, but Danilo in possession here for Juve. Knocked out here so that Higuain can receive a bit of treatment.
Well, he knew what he wanted to do when it came into him. He knew the run of Danilo had gone beyond him. Just turned away from Conte and played it in behind. Here's the goal again. Give credit to Higuain. Did he need to go with the run quite so much of Higuain? Probably not. He could have stayed in the space and tried to defend Rabiot, be the second defender. A very pleasing moment for everybody.
Nearly everybody. Ronaldo! Easy. So easy. A ball just played forward over the top, and Cristiano Ronaldo notches goal 26 as the cream of Serie A rises to the top.
There it is. Comes and spins. That's a good run from him. The two centre-halves make a real mess of it here. They both go for the same ball. He actually doesn't strike it particularly well. I think Donnarumma thought he was going to try and whack it into the far corner. Just set himself for that, and he actually kicks it into the ground. It's not particularly good goalkeeping from Donnarumma. Not good defending, but it was a good run from Ronaldo. I talked about him not making enough runs in behind. That was perfect. Came short, spun in behind, and then made the most of the situation. Kier and Romagnoli won't want to see that again. I'm not sure Donnarumma will either. He just kicks it into the ground. It keeps it down, but there's too much pace on it.
And this extraordinary scoring run continues. Chasing Ciro Immobile at the top of the Serie A scoring charts, but Ronaldo there, 21 goals in his last 17, and scoring in every one bar one of the 17 matches since the 1st of December last year. It's a level of consistency that almost defies belief. Bentancur looking up. Suddenly Juve have lifted their play in the second half. You talked about energy, Stuart. They provided increasingly fragile Milan defence.
There you saw Juventus as a back four defending really well. Ibrahimovic tried to make the run in behind. Juve back four saw it and just dropped off.
Ibrahimovic. SELAMAT. Stumbling more than anything else, here's Benacer. Lovely little decoy by Rebic to drop the shoulder. Ronaldo.
I think Ibrahimovic may have been offside when Rebic let it run through to him. Here it is. Yeah, good decision by the assistant. He ended up being in an onside position, but when the ball was kicked, he was offside.
Higuain and Ronaldo played 100 matches together at Real Madrid over 4 seasons.
That was that ball again from Cuadrado, the run from Ronaldo. 2 centre-halves getting caught underneath the ball. Not good from Romagnoli, but even worse from Kier.
Ronaldo here and Ibrahimovic have come face to face on a dozen occasions. And here's Higuain smacking it against Romagnoli. Rebic. Nice set up here for Akan again. Rugani throwing himself into the line of fire.
If there's somebody you'd like on the edge of the box, the ball to fall to on his right foot, it would be Çalhanoğlu. Good play from Rebic. Looks like he was going to shoot himself here. And saw the right pass. Rugani comes out quickly, gets the block in. Good defending from Rugani.
Ronaldo has surpassed 25 league goals in England, Spain and Italy. He's in pursuit of this again. Goalkeeper's got to come, and good communication between Donnarumma and Conti.
Yeah, that time he wasn't on the same wavelength as Bentancur. Just stopped his run, did Ronaldo.
Lovely take by SELAMAT. Benacer and SELAMAT. Here's Teo Hernandez going for the return, and there's Rebic.
Well, that was good play between left-sided players. He's getting a yellow card here. I think he's given handball against Rebic. Because something Rebic said, he's got a yellow card. Not sure why he didn't go with his head there as that ball was played across.
SELAMAT has withdrawn. And Rafael Leao coming on here for the last half an hour or so as Milan look to turn it around. He's an exciting young player.
Certainly wasn't one of his better performances, SELAMAT. He didn't affect the game enough on that right-hand side.
Referee just holding it for a moment here. Let's have another look at this.
handball against Bonucci, so it was something that he said that he got the yellow card for. But the foul, or the decision, went against Milan, so he obviously thought it was handball by Rebic, as I did.
Well, one of the slight rule changes now, of course, is that the top of the arm is now defined as the bottom of the armpit, and that was clearly off the chest. So the referee is holding this here, having had contact from VAR, and he's coming to have a look at the monitor, and maybe Rebic does have a point.
Well, we said earlier in the first half that in Serie A there seems to be more handballs given than any other league, and he's got his arm out, Bonucci. I think this may be a penalty. His arm actually blocked the ball going forwards. He's sticking it out. I think the referee will give a penalty here. Here we go.
Half an hour to play. The referee, after consultation with VAR, awards Milan a penalty for handball against Bonucci. And a yellow card to boot. Well, these days, it's not just a case of does it hit the arm, it's whether it makes the body unnaturally bigger. But half an hour to play. Zlatan Ibrahimovic against Szczesny from the spot, to give Milan hope and a potential lifeline here. 23 goals in 70 for Juve, and he's got another one here for Milan against his old club. His fifth for Milan, and Maurizio Sarri's men aren't done just yet.
A very good penalty. Ronaldo tried to tell Szczesny which way to go. Here's the moment again where the penalty was eventually given. Hernandez did really well. Rebic, quite rightly, as he said, it came off his chest into the arm of Bonucci. I think it's the right decision. And a very good penalty. He turns round to Ronaldo and has a little dig at Ronaldo. Or what he said to the goalkeeper about which way he was going to put it.
The only time Ibrahimovic has got the better of Ronaldo was in La Liga, November 2009, when the Swede scored the only goal when Barcelona beat Real at home. Well, Milan, since the return, have been a different proposition. 3 wins and a draw. The comeback is on for them now. Bentancur to Rabiot.
The player that's been most impressive for Milan has been Rebic. His energy, his ability to link up with Ibrahimovic. He's done some good things in the game so far. A terrible start to his Milan career.
Well, Kessie it is who comes away with it. Yeah, the arrival of Hakan Çalhanoğlu has lifted Stefano Pioli's team, and Rafael Leao as well. Couple of substitutes used, whereas Maurizio Sarri is playing a waiting game. Bernardeschi, Gonzalo Higuain, and Pjanic. Cuadrado, trying to just bend it in behind Romagnoli. Stuart, makes me realise more than ever how much the atmosphere made such a difference in the meeting last season.
The players have to create their own atmosphere now. There's certainly a lot more urgency in the game and energy.
Bonaventura to come on shortly by the looks of things. Ibrahimovic has lasted over an hour today. Is Rafael Leao. Kessie. And Kessie once more. Lovely footwork. And there's the equaliser. Well, he doesn't score many. He scores even fewer in open play. But what a recovery this is from Milan. A major club, a major force once more, having their say.
Well, this was intricate play around the box. Ibrahimovic played his part. He's backing in. There's the switcher play from Rebic again. Now looked as though he made the wrong decision once he came inside and played that square ball. I guess he played it forward, continued his run. Ibrahimovic round the corner, not good defending. A couple of the Juventus players. There's the little ball round the corner. Bonucci runs beyond it. Can't quite get there. It bounces over Szczesny. Good goal from Milan's point of view. Well worked from one side of the field to the other. And that's enough of what we've seen from Ibrahimovic. Ventura, a very good player coming on.
Well, Milan at the moment made of sterner stuff. Again, they continue this scoring run they're on. That's 13 games now in a row in which they've scored. Significant because after Piontek's departure, certainly was a bit of a gap and an impasse up front. Rebic here is balked. Referee plays the advantage. Rafael Leao. Oh yes! Squeezes it under Szczesny. Destroyers of dreams. They walloped Lazio at the weekend, and now they've come from 2 down to lead the champions.
I think we give a bit of credit to the referee as well here. He was going to give a foul. The tackle on Rebic. Played advantage, and I'm not quite sure how it crept in at that near post. I think it may have taken a slight deflection of the defender. He was aiming for the far post. Went in at Szczesny's near post. That's where he was going to give a foul, the referee. He's just about to blow the whistle. Leao gets on it. Comes off Rugani's boot, I think, into the near post. There it goes. Wrong foot in the goalkeeper, Szczesny. What a comeback from Milan. This will give us a better view of it. Yeah, there's the deflection.
Well, time for Juventus to ring the changes. Rabiot, after that wonderful opener, makes way here for Blaise Matuidi. And Gonzalo Higuain's race is also run. There's Douglas Costa's coming on. He looks a despondent figure today. Much like last season, it has to be said, although in very different circumstances. Pjanic coming off and Ramsey on. So a triple change here.
I think there was an air of complacency about Juventus when they went 2-0 up. We all thought that was the game won. Just drift to its conclusion, but well played Milan.
So Matuidi, Douglas Costa and Aaron Ramsey on here as Juventus with 21 minutes to avoid losing for the first time since early February when they lost at Verona. And Ramsey just dwelling on it a fraction too long. Lovely skill from Benacer there. Off goes Rebic, pursued by Rugani.
Starting to dictate the play as well, Benacer.
20 minutes to play, and time for another cooling break. But what a second half this has turned into. Juve 2-0 up through Rabiot and Ronaldo in the 53rd minute, and then that penalty from Ibrahimovic, not just a lifeline, but it's been the catalyst for a quite brilliant recovery.
Well, he had his moments, didn't he, Ibrahimovic? No longer on the field. His goal. That was the finish where he was offside from Ibrahimovic. Well, that wasn't a perfect strike from Ronaldo. I think he still knew what he was doing. Just making sure he kept over it, bounces it into the ground. Not a particularly good effort from Donnarumma. Two world-class players. And a very good penalty as well. By the sweep, bent into the corner, Szczesny going the other way.
Ibrahimovic certainly not wanting anyone stealing his thunder or his spotlight. Well, we think about the importance of that decision by the referee with the VAR referral, where he went to the monitor just to check what he had thought was a Rebic handball that turned into a Bonucci handball and a penalty. And one of those occasions where Bonucci didn't have too much time to react. It was the correct decision. I have to say, unlike the one against De Ligt at the weekend, this one, the referee using the referral well and quite prepared to change his verdict. Matuidi. That was a heavy one. Conte gets a yellow.
Well, he would say he won the ball quite fairly. It's just the follow-through that catches the Juve man. There's a lot of screaming going on in this match. Players overreacting to some of the tackles that have gone in. He wins the ball. You see where the ball went, but he caught Danilo there. I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but the replay suggested maybe it was a poor challenge.
Maybe Ibrahimovic will be having the last say, but Juventus here with Bernardeschi, the outswinger, and Rebic was fouled.
Yeah, by Bonucci. Good delivery. Again, they're defending deeply so they can come and attack the ball. Bonucci gets a jump in, and he catches Rebic. He also catches Gear as well.
Two for the price of one.
Not seeing eye to eye with the referee at the moment. Bonucci.
And Bonucci has been cautioned. And Milan can break away with it here. And Rebic in behind Rugani, and Rebic, good save Szczesny. Rafael Leao following up. Bonaventura can't squeeze it home. Indeed, Bonaventura then scything down Bentancur.
Once again, really good play from Rebic. He's been a threat constantly in this second half, making runs in behind. With no Ibrahimovic on the field, he's the out-and-out striker. Did a lot of that in the first half as well, although he was meant to be in the role slightly behind. When Ibrahimovic went short, he made runs beyond Juve's back four, and he's been a threat.
And off they go again. Rebic rampant in the middle. He's cut out. It finds Rafael Leao, charged down by Danilo. And rather than sitting on this 3-2 lead that they've built, Milan now looking for a fourth. Milan's only win in the last 14 Serie A meetings with Juve. October 2016, Manuel Locatelli, who was only 18 at the time. Plenty of mobility in the middle here, and Rebic doesn't reach him. Ramsey. Bentancur with the switch to Danilo. Conti forceful on Ronaldo, you could hear the squeal. Ronaldo through the eye of the needle to Douglas Costa. Oh, fabulous skill to skip through the defenders there. Another moment of pure magic from this man who scored a sumptuous goal against Genoa.
Does really well to go between the two players. Simon Kier just about did enough to hold him off here with his right arm. Meaning that Douglas Costa couldn't quite get to the ball. And he has it kicked in his face, the one centre back on the other.
Alexandro here for one Quadrado. Presumably Danilo will swap flanks, will he?
Yeah, I'd imagine that would be the case. Quadrado did a lot of good work going forward, but suddenly when Theo Hernandez ran past him in that previous move, he was treading water.
Maximising resources here at a furious and fast-paced point in the season. That's a super header and well saved by Donnarumma to keep that out. Rugani, I think it was.
You're absolutely right, he's certainly not the biggest centre-back. The greatest header of the ball, but it was a good jump from Rugani.
Bernardeschi. Bentancur. Slipped wide there by Bonucci. Danilo has indeed swapped to the right. Here's Ramsey now. Ronaldo. Douglas Costa playing as the central striker right now. Ronaldo, wicked ball in. Donnarumma did well to get there. Committed totally. Juve pushing, probing, testing.
It was that header from Rugani. It's a good right-handed save from Donnarumma. Right down by his feet, had to get it far enough away from the danger area. Big strong hand on it. Rebic did well not to get in his way. Frustration for Maurizio Sarri.
Fantastic picture of Maurizio Sarri there. You can see the pain, the torture, having been so in control of this match.
There's the run, he's onside. Tries to go across the goalkeeper. Szczesny just gets it with that left foot. This is the reason they bought Rebic from the Bundesliga, because he has got that pace to run in behind. He is a threat. Saw it at the World Cup for Croatia.
He got his goal against Argentina, but Calabria here waiting to be introduced. And I suppose the concern over Kier, they want to be sure about him. Conti might be the player that would have been coming off, I would have thought, with a yellow card and in that position, but we'll see what they intend to do about it. Donnarumma pumping it up towards Rebic. Rafael sort of a ball was that? Chance for Rebic, and he's going to gobble that up. And Milan, what a turnaround in this match. They are really fired up for the finish. It's a horror show at the back for Juventus, who've thrown away a 2-goal lead here.
Well, I think that was the first touch for Alexandro at left back, trying to play a crossfield pass, never going to get there. It was well intercepted. Bonaventura saw it coming, got it back in, and he just rolls it to Rebic so he can hit it with his favoured left foot. Ball was on, he just didn't play it well enough. Bonaventura, who's playing in behind Rebic, did really well to read it and then set him up. And that's the finish of a player in form and playing with confidence.
Well, applauded by a legend, applauded by a manager, set for his first win over Juve now, and Rebic into double figures for the season. 10 in 12. He's one of the most informed strikers playing in Serie A.
What a big disappointment it was. Lazio lost earlier on today in terms of the title race.
It is Conte coming off, and Calabria for the last 9+ minutes. Conte on a yellow, remember.
Well, he's a good player, right back. He's been team very early. They call Conte and struggled to get time this season. But he is a fullback with plenty of pace. He likes to get forward as well.
Rebic being replaced by Krunic. Being mindful, I'm sure, of players out there on cautions, having established a clear advantage over Juve. That was a tricky one for Kier to keep at bay without committing the foul. But the last thing Milan would want to do now is to throw what they've built away by getting an unnecessary red card. Krunic on alert ahead, and here's Bonaventura. Skips past Douglas Costa. Çalhanoğlu. Benacer. You can see Bentancur, the steel in his eyes, the way he's trying to get stuck in and get the ball back here for Juventus. Who were in the driving seat at 2-0. This Milan team now, you wonder what it does really to Stefano Pioli with all the talk of a possible change of management at the end of the season.
It certainly builds his reputation up. He's had a good career already as a club head coach. If he doesn't stay at Milan, he'll be going somewhere in Serie A, that's for sure.
He suddenly galvanised this group. At half-time, I don't think anyone would have predicted this.
Certainly not 10 minutes into the second half.
Certainly not 10 minutes into the second half, especially. And Bonucci just about enough to Szczesny.
Well, there'll be a lot of debate about the goal that got Milan back into the game, that penalty, but in the end, when you see it, it was the right decision.
Well, Juve aren't done yet, 6 minutes yet. Can they find their way back from 2 goals down? Here's Costa, tracked by Calabria. Ball had gone out, I think. Yep, Alexandro.
It's interesting, the substitutions, the substitutes that have come on for Milan have had an effect on the game. Right, Bonaventura layout. Whereas the Juventus substitutes really had no impact whatsoever. The wrong sort of impact with Alexandro. Ramsey's hardly been involved.
Bernardeschi, like a bulldozer, trying to plough a path through that Milan backline.
I think we've really mentioned the Tweedy so far.
I think Juve stunned, shocked. Bentancur trying to spark them. Here's Alexandro. Trying to atone for the error. Atalanta to come at the weekend. And for Stefano Pioli, trip to Napoli. A couple of home games, Parma, Bologna. Also has Atalanta and Cagliari to come at home. Sassuolo and Sampdoria trips to come. Ronaldo, Douglas Costa. Here's Matuidi. There's Costa. Lovely ball in that time. It's picked up by Aaron Ramsey. And here's Bentancur, who went for placement rather than power.
Yeah, it was the right technique. Came to him pretty quickly. Just played square. Just try to adjust his body.
Revenge of sorts for the Coppa Italia defeat in the semi-finals. In truth, for both clubs, it really only served to act as competitive warm-up matches for what was to come in Serie A. Napoli already with that trophy in the bank, but Milan certainly looking ever upwards now. Chance for them to go top 5 with this scoreline. And that trip to Napoli to come on Sunday.
Should be another good game, a resurgent Napoli.
Marino Gattuso has managed to get them ticking at last. But Juve's run of 7 straight wins, unless they do something quite remarkable in the last 2+ minutes, is going to come to a very abrupt halt. All their defeats this season, this would be the 4th, would have come on the road. Spal, Bologna, Genoa. Rather, I should say Lazio, Napoli, Verona. Verona back on the 8th of February. Spal, Bologna, Genoa with the 3 wins last time. And here's Bonaventura, who, as you say, Stuart, along with Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Rafael Leao, have really helped pep up this Milan team.
It is great to see Bonaventura coming back. A couple of years ago, I always thought he was Milan's best player. Played well week in, week out, then he had that serious injury. It's taken a long time to get back to somewhere near his best. He's starting to affect games again. Well, he can shoot from anywhere, Çalhanoğlu.
It's a tricky one for the goalkeeper, but electing just to push it around to safety.
Yeah, this is good technique. You see it's dipping and swerving. Bounces just in front of Szczesny. Szczesny's going one way, then it starts to dip and go to his other side. That's why he took no chances.
This moves away from the goalkeeper here. one. They seem to work very well together. And certainly Kessie with some very delicate footwork and fine goal to get Milan back on level terms midway through this second half. 6 added minutes. With Costa. I'll never say never. 5 minutes for Juve to find 2 goals or more. There's half a dozen minutes that Milan needed. Here's Danilo. 62nd minute penalty for Ibrahimovic. Then Kessie 66 and Rafael Leao in the 68th. Juve gamble more and more. Milan trying that quick launch forward. Bernardeschi here. As Costa frustrated that he didn't retain possession. Bonaventura not in any hurry. Theo Hernandez quite happy to draw a fairly obvious free kick.
Frustrated challenge, desperate to win the ball back. Bentancur.
Bentancur's actions on the pitch rather reflecting those of Maurizio Sarri on the sidelines. That hunger for victory.
Has now come to this right-hand side, number 33.
Nice little shuffle of direction here for Juve. Bernardeschi needing a bit more time to spin and tee it up. This is a quite extraordinary turnaround by Milan. Hello, Maldini and co watching on with great delight, I'm sure. Muratori coming on here. The last of the changes, Bentancur, talked about his hunger for victory and his frustration becoming ever more evident. Muratori here, mentioned he's on his way to Atalanta. Pjanic on his way to Barcelona. Just made his league debut against Lecce. Ronaldo, can he finish with a flourish here? Matuidi, comfortable gather for Donnarumma. It'll just take a few seconds more as Juve and their president prepare for departure.
Well, they were full of smiles at 2-0. Seeing Rabiot score a great goal. Ronaldo add to his tally. Everything looked to be going their way. That penalty changed everything.
Muratori. The flag has stayed down at this point. Ronaldo. Still Ronaldo. And he looks across to the assistant, and the inevitable decision coming here.
Yeah, he's good, 3 or 4 yards offside. That's where the assistant really should be putting his flag up, I think. This is all academic.
Just to clarify, the assistant referees are instructed these days to keep the flags down when there's a marginal offside, to give the strikers the chance to go on and score a goal if it's in doubt, and then it can be confirmed later. But when it's so clear-cut as that, I think, as you say, Stuart, everybody wanting, hoping that the decision is made swiftly to avoid any confusion. Stabbed away initially by Krunic, but only as far as Alexandro, whose return has not gone anywhere near as he would have hoped. What a pass that is. Fantastic pass across to Aaron Ramsey.
Hasn't done his chances of starting the next game. Good, really. Ramsey, since he's been on, he's lost possession. He's looked fairly weak in possession at times. Well, he's just going to lose it again here.
A famous night for Milan. What a remarkable turnaround it's been, having been 2 down 10 minutes into this second half. First Lazio, now Juventus. Milan proving they are still a major force to be reckoned with, and still with a major say in the title race. Stefano Pioli with his first win over Juventus as a manager, and their first over their rivals for some 4 years. No joy for Ronaldo today as the front runners